In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, B-Up's on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in the sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, B-Wop tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night, when the crowd fades away, he's the echo of hope at the end of
What's going on, family? You watching Sports Talk with B. Watts. I'm your host, Bernard Watts. On this evening, on this Wednesday evening, only thing I ask that you do as you come in, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. And if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel if you have never subscribed, and hit that notification bell. And also, if you would like to continue to support the broadcast in any kind of function, you can do it through Cash App, you can do it through Super Chat, or you can just join the membership. Anything that you do to support this broadcast is highly appreciated. Well, family, let's get into it. I got a twist. I got that messed my day up. Oh, how much? Yeah, I was getting ready to talk about Shedeur Sanders is ready for the Cleveland Brown training camp to start. Well, about 1 o'clock today, while I was eating lunch, phone just went off. I mean, it just went off. Ding, ding, text message, email message, phone call. Oh boy, your boy done got pulled over by the law. I'm saying, what you talking about? So I'm looking, going through the Twitter, TMZ, tearing him up over there. Miss Mary Kay, tearing him up over there. Tony Grossman, tearing him up over there on Twitter. What they tearing him up, be what? Shedeur Sanders got cited for a speeding ticket, 101 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone. Now, that don't sound like bad to most of y'all, but I'm here to tell you, in the state of Georgia, he better be glad he wasn't in the state of Georgia. They would have locked him up and held him in jail for 3 days, no bond. This here, if you get caught, I don't know how it is in the city of Atlanta, but I can tell you about Henry County. If they catch you going 100 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour zone, they will lock you up for 3 days with no bond. It is what it is. It's time for tough love today. I'm the nephew. I'm the uncle. I'm the old uncle, Shedeur. I'm fighting hard right now in these YouTube street, in Twitter street, because you're in a so-called quarterback battle. But when you go out there and pull one of these, oh yeah. Now I ain't gonna hammer you. I'm not gonna beat you up about that. But I'm just trying to tell you, bruh, come on. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Come on. You've been having a driver. You've been having a driver. Why you can't get down there? I tagged Bucket over on X. Bucket, tell your brother, get a driver. Too much at stake right now. Too much at stake. Not just for me. It should be for you. If you ain't never followed the story of Henry Ruggs II, I think his name last is Henry Ruggs II or the third. If you ain't never followed that story, if that don't wake you up as an athlete, speed, ain't that gonna wake you up. And then Henry Ruggs, coming out of Alabama, was the #1 wide receiver and the fastest wide receiver. Coming out of college to the NFL. He got drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, guess what? Had an accident. Running 100 miles an hour, and they locked him up. His whole career in the NFL, gone. Well, they don't let him out. But guess what? Ain't nobody fooling with him. It's on his record. They locked Henry Ruggs up for speeding and end up somebody losing their life. You can't do that. True story. Graduated from high school. I'm talking about me. Went out there and worked. I did not buy a car when everybody else was buying cars. I bought me some land and I built my house. Once I built my house, I went and bought me a car. And I bought a Nissan 300ZX, black, pretty, 5-speed. Oh, got with my friends late on that night at the car wash. I got it. I'm telling you, true story. At the car wash. They said, woo, that thing is pretty. I got it off the showroom floor. Pretty, shining black, 5-speed. Everybody want to know, man, you need to hit it. You need to hit it. How fast would it go? So at the end, when I got ready to leave, I hit it. Shifted gears. Soon as I came out of second, I went in the third and ran straight into the police. Police. Yeah, you already know the war. Nah, they ain't write me no ticket. They one block away to the jailhouse. They didn't lock me up, but they knew who I was. They called my mama and my grandmama and my granddad. And when they got there, Lord have mercy. I wasn't worried about the law. I was worried about my grandmama and my granddad. I wasn't worried about my mama. I was worried about my grandmother and my granddaddy, because my granddaddy was a preacher, he was a preacher. And boy, he took me back there, that back room. Jeffrey, he took me in that back room. He didn't touch me, he didn't whoop me. My grandmama won't tear me up. But my granddad gave me one of the toughest talks that I ever had in my life. A man-to-man talk. Don't you ever get out here. He didn't worry about my name and disgrace my name by coming to a jailhouse and getting pulled over by the law. Took me to the woodshed. Yeah. I ain't lying. As a young man, you can't do that. Some things you just can't do. And you can't blame the media. You can't blame nobody else. But Shedeur got to eat this one up himself. Because it's his fault. It is. You can't blame what Mary Kay saying. You can't blame what Tony G them saying, because this is what they wanted. And they over there. If you go on Twitter, boy, they started around by 1 o'clock and ain't stopped yet. They own it and gonna stay on it. Danny, appreciate that $1.99. This has given the media material so to say, told you. So, hey, they saying it. We told you he wasn't gonna be able to operate without Deion Sanders. Shout out to Coach Prime. I seen a video today from Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin was crying and saying, please pray for Coach Prime. So if you got any sympathy, if you got any care about Coach Prime, and the Sanders family, hey, we got to lift up a prayer for Coach Prime. Now, I don't know what's going on. Michael Irvin didn't say, I'm just trying to tell you right now. Pray for Coach Prime. But I'm just trying to tell you, this on Shedeur. They grown man stuff. You got to hold yourself accountable now. Yeah, just know him. Just know him. Bruh, if he was in Henry County in the state of Georgia, he couldn't pull that off. 100 miles an hour, 101 miles an hour in a 60 miles an hour zone. No, you can't do that in Georgia. And they're going to think you finna get a ticket and go on by yourself. Not in Henry County. Yeah, 3 days, no bond, automatic. Well, if you hit somebody or not, I'm glad it didn't hit somebody. See what gonna happen. See what happened is why you don't need that. Why you don't need nothing like that on your record. It ain't got nothing to do with football. You don't want to build no reputation up. Because anytime you got to go to that judge, I know I work for him. I work for the law. 30 years of. Anytime you got to go, they look at your history. So if Shedeur, perhaps, I hope he don't get another ticket, then mess around and get another ticket. Bruh, you don't want that. They ain't got, you bump football. Yeah, you don't want to go nobody jailhouse or nobody prison. It ain't made for you. It ain't made for you now. I'm trying to tell you. I know they call you grown, but you ain't grown to handle that. Ain't nobody grown enough to handle that. Where it going on now. But it's a learning curve. And it's a wake-up call. And Miss Mary, she jumped right on it, y'all. She jumped right on it. Here, I'm finna share it with you. Here she go right here. Miss Mary, here she go. She started off with this right here. She the first one I hit with. Miss Mary. Browns rookie quarterback cited for going one-on-one on I-71 early this morning in Ohio State Police. And you can read her article the way you want to. Whenever you want to. I didn't want to read it. I just saw it. I said, dog. And she just dropped another one. And hear what she said on this one. This is what she said right there. Mary Kay, hopefully for Browns rookie quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, his citation for going 101 miles per hour is a huge wake-up call. She couldn't wait. She don't print about 4 or 5 on them out there. She wants y'all to see it. She want him to see it. She want everybody to see it. But there's another guy by the name of Tony G. Tony Grossman. I was surprised at what he said. Now, he didn't go that hard on Shedeur. He did not go hard. Looked like he was for Shedeur when I heard him. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm finna pause right now and play you this video of what Tony G had to say. Now, Tony didn't go so hard on him.
I'm sure they'll have a meeting with him and hear his side and, explain you got to take care of yourself and you got to make right decisions and let this be a learning experience for you so that nothing worse than this happens. So, and listen, it's not the end of the world. It's disappointing, I'm sure, to the Browns and to Coach Prime. I mean, 101 is excessive speed.
Yes.
But again, he'll learn from it, I'm sure.
All right, that was Tony. Like I say, he didn't hardly write nothing up, but I promise you, tomorrow morning, he gonna be on every radio station killing our boy. He just is. That's what they wanted. Shedeur had a squeaky clean image up under the roof of Coach Prime. And as soon as he left up under that umbrella, this right here happened. The devil is a lie. And they were waiting on this to hold him against it. Now, keep in mind, Shedeur is in a quarterback battle who I think will win. But he better show enough when training camp starts. Oh, he got to be on it. He going to have to outperform Dylan Gabriel so bad. He going to have to. Because this against him. It is what it is. It's life. I understand it. It's life. It's part of life. But you got to remember, They just left a scandalous quarterback. He got in trouble with the law out there. Deshaun Watson, not once but twice. He got a speeding ticket. Hold on. I don't want nobody to think I'm lying. I'm finna show you. Cleveland Brown quarterbacks have been in trouble with the law ever since they've been out there. For whatever reason, I don't know. I'm just trying to tell y'all. It ain't no good look anytime you get involved with the law. But I hope he get out. I hope. See, he need training camp to come on now. He go to athletes that was pulled over in Ohio. Several famous athletes have been pulled over for speeding from 2015 to 2025. You see, they put Shedeur right up there on top. They put him right there up on top as a quarterback. Then they went to Antonio Brown in 2018, 100 plus. Pittsburgh, reckless driving citation. Kareem Hunt in 2020, speed, unclear ticket. Then here go the other quarterback. 3 years ago, Deshaun Watson, 95 in Ohio. Tyreek Hill, 2024 in Miami. He was citation, careless driving. Myles Garrett was also noted for a multiple incident, including 120 miles per hour. That's what going on in Cleveland. That's what going on in Cleveland. See, these guys here is different from Shedeur. Shedeur a 5th round draft pick. I'm gonna keep it real with you. He a 5th round draft pick. It's the reason why they went out and drafted Joe Flacco. It's the reason why. He's squeaky clean. He's squeaky clean background. He ain't gonna give him no trouble. They can count on him. They know when the game come on, or when the game is scheduled to be played, they know they got their quarterback, Kenny Pickett. They check this background out, right? They know he's not gonna get into trouble. When the game time come around, they know they got a quarterback. All right. Dylan Gabriel, squeaky clean. Squeaky clean. Even though he might not be able to control that ball like Shedeur, but when it's time for the game, they know they can count on him from being there. The question gonna be now, because of this right here, can they count on Shedeur? Can they count on him for off the field things that go along? Can they count on him? This the worst thing that could have happened to Shedeur. It just is. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing that he could have had getting ready to come into training camp and to compete to be the QB1. QB1. And he didn't need that. He just didn't need this. He exactly didn't need this. See, and still you got to sit back 4 weeks. You got to sit back 4 weeks. July the 25th is when they start training camp. That almost a month. That is a month. That's a month without being on the field, trying to change the narrative. What's up, Hood? Trying to change the narrative, Jay. Yeah, you got to change that narrative some kind of way. Because the Cleveland media, the ones that don't like it, them old heads, the ones that going for Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, man, this like a shark. You throwing the meat out there in the water. They gonna eat this. They gonna eat this. I really didn't want to talk about this, but people kept saying, "Be watch, you know you got to keep it real." There had to been Coach Prime. This is what they were telling me. There had to been Coach Prime at Colorado and on Marion Miller or Juju or K Salt had to did this. What you think he would have did? I said, boy, yeah, y'all hell, boy. Y'all hell, boy. You know what Coach Prime would have did. Yeah, I'm just saying. But I mean, you just got to see how Cleveland gonna move. Yeah, they could release Shedeur. Hope they don't. They could trade him, or they could keep him. I hope they keep him. But this a game changer him now. Yeah, I know a lot of people said, "Be watch, slow down, be watch." I I'm just trying to tell y'all. Oh man, this the worst. This just the worst time. This the worst time for this to happen. The time is just wrong. Just wrong for this right here. He didn't need that, and especially at man, what the hell you want to do at almost 1 o'clock in the morning? Go 100 miles an hour. What? I mean, what's going on? Shedeur? He got to answer the question. He got to answer the question. Yeah, you just can't have that. You can't have that in the NFL. The NFL that don't play them rocks, especially with an African American quarterback. They don't go that way. They just don't. They just don't. You already don't want you there. They already don't. They'd rather you be a defensive back or a wide receiver and do something like that. They don't want no quarterback like that. They just don't. Ain't 32 teams. Ain't but 32 teams. And training camp is still 4 to 5 weeks away to change the narrative of this right here. It just is. It's the narrative. He just left the kids the day before out there shaking their hand, dancing with him, having fun. He just lit up OTA minicamp in a way that ain't no other quarterback had ever done. This dude completed 77% of his pass. Kent Happ. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you, he completed. Man, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. In training camp, ain't nobody doing that. In the football league, complete 77% of their pass. Ain't nobody doing that. That's why like I said, Shedeur is ready for the Cleveland Brown training camp. And he finna get ready to turn up. He finna get ready to turn up. Even though it just was a citation, that's a blessing. It just was a citation. It's just a citation. But he can't get now another. You don't forget football. I don't care where you at. If you in Georgia, you do not want to build. It's one, but you mess around, run a stop sign, red light, and get another. That's a 2. Then you mess around and get out another speeding ticket. That's 3. You gotta go see that judge. When they slapped on probation on you, you don't want that. You just don't want that. That's the ump side. That's the father side. This ain't the fan side. This ump. Let one of your sons get one. Let me see how you act. Let me see how you talk. Let me see how you type. Let one of your sons, call you at 1 o'clock in the morning. Say, hey, I've been pulled over running 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile zone. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm just glad he didn't get hurt, nor no one else. No one else. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. It is, Sabrina. It's a lesson. Everybody need a lesson in life. And I'm sure he did that. I know he did. I'm sure. Man, just get a driver, bro. You got too much money to be out there doing that. Leave them cars, man. I know you're young, bro. Leave them cars alone, man. Leave them cars. You don't need all them cars. You there for a reason. You got 3 quarterbacks in front of you, and you trying to be QB1. That's all I'm saying, Shedeur. I'm talking to Shedeur. Shedeur, leave him alone. Bucket, tell him to leave him the cars alone. Get your driver, bro. Let them drive you where you want to go. I know you're young. You like cars and jewelry and all that. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You getting them what they want. You getting them what they want. They're what they want. That'll kill the Colorado fans off. That'll take the pressure off the organization. But that's all they want. That's all they needed. Just keep an eye on the organization. See how they move after this. See how they move after this. Yeah. When training camp start on July the 25th, see where he be now on the depth chart. That's something to look at. See where he be on that depth chart. Yeah. A lot of people said this just minor. It's minor to them because it ain't their son. It ain't them. It's minor to them because it didn't happen to them. It ain't messing with their check. It ain't messing up his father's name, Shedeur Sanders, who going through illness right now that he done built up until then. And then as soon as you get off up under my roof, you go out there and pull one of these. See, it ain't everybody in the chat. It ain't them. It ain't they son. It ain't they son. Yeah, it's they a fan. They're a fan. Coach Prime hurting, can't sleep at night, worrying about his son. Worried about him. I hope he all right. Man, you get right. You get Shedeur. Okay, listen to this. Listen. I really don't want to talk about this. Listen. Hear me on this. Shedeur got pulled over at 1 o'clock in the morning. Broad daylight. I mean, nighttime. Nighttime. It could have been one of them cops that don't like him pulled him over. It could have. It could have been worse than that. They could have planted something on him. They could have did something to him. You got to look at the big picture. You got to look at the big picture. Accountability. Accountability as an adult. It started when he left up under the roof of Deion Sanders. Got to be a grown up. Got to be responsible. Got to be responsible. And I'm sure it's some people up under him. I'm sure it's some people up under him depending on him. They on his payroll. I know it is. I know it is. Only thing I'm saying, he got to be careful the way he moves. He got to be. He got to be. Yeah. Can't, boy, you said it. You said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. You right on it. Right on it. Bless it. It was a nice and fair officer. He had been in Georgia. I already know where he been. I already know. But yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, a lot of people talk that talk. They talk that talk now, Roger. They talk that talk like it's all right. Everybody want to move on. Okay. Okay. Man, the NFL moves different than any other organization out there. They'll hold anything on you. Anything. Anything they can get on you. Anything. When you look at the University of Georgia, my state, where Kirby Smart at, them young guys out there with them fast cars getting locked up, they getting locked up. Somebody lost their life out there speeding. And he went to jail. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes you got to take accountability. He didn't need that. He just did. Yeah, he didn't need that. Wake up call. Wake up call. It is that. Still gonna rock with him. Still gonna fly with him. But still, at some point, you got to be a grown up. You got to be responsible. No way. No way, Wayne Hood. You should be going 100 miles an hour in a 60 miles an hour zone for no reason at all at 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to hold that one on Shedeur. I can't blame it on the Cleveland media. I can't blame it on the Cleveland officer. This is his on Shedeur. Man up. You got to be a man. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. I'm going to keep it fair over here on Sports Talk with B. Watts. This conversation might not be for all of y'all. I keep it fair. Yeah, that had been Dylan Gabriel. All of y'all in this chat would have been on his head. That had been Dylan Gabriel. That had been Kenneth Pickett. All of y'all, every last one of you would have been on his head. That had been Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco. You all, not Mary Kay, you all would have been on his head and tell him that's wrong. He should be out the team. You know you would have. You know you would have. If that had been Coach Prime and that happened to Juju or K-Salt at Colorado, what would have happened? What would have happened? What would have happened? Okay, then. You better keep this thing 100. See, this what comes with following athletes. You don't know what they're going to do when the lights are off. Long practice is going on. Long football is going on. We know where they're at. We know what they'll do. But once it stops, the off season, a break, you just don't know. You just don't know. It is what it is. I'm not going to keep hammering on it. This is my last time talking about it. I just want to share the information with y'all. And hope Shedeur run across this. Bruh, come on. Come on now. Get a drive. Get a drive. That's all I'm saying. Get a drive. Get a drive. That's it. Go out there and do what's right. You're on a mission. We behind you. The fans are behind you. And there's some people out there counting on you. Counting on you. Counting on you. They counting on you. They rocking with you. They got your back. People out there killing your name. We getting stoned to death for taking up for you. We are. Some of us is. We getting stoned to death for that. I'm just trying to tell you now. Just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. Everything gonna be all right. Just learn a lesson. We ready to move on. I'm at 30 minutes talking about it. I'm finna pivot from that conversation and move on. All right. Let's talk about. I want to talk about. I'm again now. Shedeur is ready. If he ain't ready now, he better be ready for training camp, July the 25th. If he ain't ready now, I promise you, he gonna be ready now. He gonna be ready now. Cause this right here, yeah, he finna get up there and turn up now. If they get an opportunity, this thing got to be fair. If they let it be fair, Shedeur gonna go out there and beat QB1. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't seen Joe Flacco play. Joe Flacco don't do nothing to impress me. He haven't done nothing in the past impress me, and he's not a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. He just ain't. He haven't done anything in the last 10 years that did not impress me. That give me confidence that he can be the leading quarterback on this team. He was at Indianapolis 2 years ago and couldn't beat out Anthony Richardson. He couldn't beat out Anthony Richardson at quarterback. He couldn't beat him out. They let him go. They let Joe Flacco go. He couldn't beat Anthony Richardson out. You already know how he performed out there. Anthony Richardson hadn't done nothing out there. Nothing. And Joe Flacco couldn't beat him out. When they cut him and let him win, he was on the couch, the sofa, the streets. Didn't have a team when Cleveland called him. They called him to be a bag-up quarterback. But for some reason, people really think, and he could be, starting the season off as QB1. That don't make him better than Shedeur Sanders, because I know he's not. And when you look at Kenny Pickett have been in the league 3 years, going on his 4th year, and I'm played for 2 teams. This is 3rd team. Haven't done nothing, not a thing in the NFL to show me he can lead an NFL team to the playoff as a quarterback. As a quarterback. Matter of fact, the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, the players was calling for him, telling the coaches, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get Kenny Pickett up out of here. And they know what they did? They got him up out of there. They got him up out of there. I'm just trying to tell y'all, Shedeur is in the driver's seat. If they give him the right opportunity and give him a chance to go out there and run with the Warriors, the same amount of passes that Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco get, Shedeur Sanders will be this quarterback by game 1. But he got to put the work in. He got to keep doing what he's been doing, because history has shown us about Shedeur Sanders. And what that is, B-Watt, he's a 70% passing quarterback, percentage pass. 7%. In Colorado, 74% pass completion quarterback. This past week at OTAs, minicamp, Shedeur Sanders completed 77, almost 80% of his passes during OTAs and minicamp. So that lets you know that Shedeur Sanders is an accurate quarterback. He can fit the ball in tight windows. He can throw the deep ball. And even though they trying to kill him tonight, he don't know the plays. No way you don't know that playbook and you get rid of that ball that fast and hit a wide receiver wide open. Or throw the ball to a tight end in a tight window if you don't know the plays. You wouldn't know what to call. You wouldn't know what to make how to make the checks. You couldn't even identify a Mike linebacker, nor you couldn't even recognize a defense even if they in a cover 2 or a cover 3 and know where the ball need to go. You couldn't do that. So that's a lie they putting out on Shedeur about that. Whoever it is, that's a lie. That's a lie right there. You will not be able to complete those passes that he completing and identify the Mike linebacker or know if they in a man-to-man, cover 2, or cover 3 defense. You wouldn't know that as a quarterback. I know I played the position. You just wouldn't know that. So I know that was a lie. You won't be able to play that in OTA. Now the truth finna come out in training camp. When them pads come on, everything finna come out. They ain't gonna be able to hide that. Kevin Stefanski and the general manager is not gonna be able to hide training camp results. And we're gonna you got to put him out there. You got to put Shedeur out there. Because he gonna slice them up. They just gotta treat them right, treat everybody fair. If you're gonna give everybody a shot, make sure Shedeur get his shot too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Make sure Shedeur get the same amount of reps and let him run with the number 1 offense, Jerry Jeudy them, and let him do what he do. And if they do that, Shedeur gonna come out as QB1 because them others quarterbacks, they're not as accurate as Shedeur. Shedeur ball placement is elite. The coach even said that. The quarterback coach said that. Walked up to him and told him. Here you go right here. Here go the video right here.
Outstanding. If we could just get a tight end to catch it at some point.
Just throw it with me. I want to take the rest. Just throw it up. I'll take the rest.
You better not put that blick up if you score. You see, coach got on you. Got on me.
On you, not me. I didn't do that. I slam it. You know. You be playing with the Browns. Do you know what I do? I'm Madden. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take that long. I think the real question is going to be, is Joe Flacco the emergency quarterback or is he the starter? If he's the starter, I think we have a better opportunity to go out there and maybe win some more games. But if he's the emergency quarterback and the just-in-case guy, I'm thinking we see Shedeur Sanders. Whether it's a week or 2 before the bye or a week or 2 after the bye, I think we might see perfect timing sooner rather than later. His presence, how he's carrying himself, winning days in camps, I just don't see a world where they can keep him on the bench when he's excelling in everything that he's doing.
You can't hide him so long. He's just a good quarterback. He's way far ahead for as Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gator. He's just too far ahead. Shedeur Sanders is that guy. He's their quarterback. They just need to get him ready and give him the opportunity. Even though I heard J.R. Botson and G. Bush said going into training camp, Shedeur Sanders is on their list as QB2. So this is going to be interesting how this play out. If he go into training camp as QB2 by the end of preseason game, he'll be QB1 because he's going to be showing them he's better than Joe Flacco, who they predicting to be the starting quarterback. He gonna show that he's better than them. He gonna show that. He just gonna show that, y'all. He gonna show he better than them. He just is. And I can't wait to training camp start because he needs training camp right now. He need training camp right now because tomorrow, trust me, tomorrow that the media they gonna unload on Shedeur tomorrow. That just is. That's the part of the media that we don't need. We don't want to talk about. You know, that's a part of me. I'm not talking about it no more. Just what's going on? I bet Shedeur numbers were better than all of their numbers outside of the ones, since he supposedly didn't have any first team reps. I agree with you. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, Jizzle, and this me. When them numbers came out, I looked at them as time went along, and I started doing my research. I started thinking. Not one time did I see Kenny Pickett throw a touchdown. I'm being honest. Even though ESPN Cleveland put up a flyer that said that he threw 7 or 8 touchdowns, they didn't show the video of it. They did not show the video that he threw those touchdown arches. Even though they said Kenny Pickett threw 7 touchdowns, I'm gonna be honest with you, arches. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Kimberly. I love CC, Sabrina Walter, Roger Johnson. I'm gonna be real with you. I did not see 7 videos of where Dylan Gabriel threw 7 touchdowns. I'm being honest with you. I know they drafted him in the 3rd round, 2 rounds higher than Shedeur. Now, Shedeur, they showed all 9 touchdowns. Matter of fact, I showed them on my show. So sometimes you can't really go by what ESPN Cleveland is reporting because they're not honest. They're not fair about it. They're just not fair about it. Matter of fact, every time they ask Tony Grossman, he's a beat writer out there. Every time they ask him about Shedeur Sanders, he can't give you a straight answer about Shedeur Sanders, Ken. Miss Amy, anyway, he cannot give you a straight answer about Shedeur performance, and he always got to put Dylan Gabriel in the conversation. They didn't ask you nothing about Dylan Gabriel. They asked you about Shedeur. They didn't ask him nothing about Joe Flacco. They haven't asked him nothing about Kenny Pickett. They haven't asked him nothing about Dylan Gabriel. They asked him about Shedeur. And for some reason, sis, he always got to add another quarterback in there. Ain't nobody going around and asking no media about Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, or Dylan Gabriel. They want to know about Shedeur. Nothing. Matter of fact, they had his tail up on that radio station, and they asked him, why you don't never give a straight answer about Shedeur? When they asked you about Shedeur, Tony, the Colorado fans want to know. And listen to what this clown said. I hate it. My bad. You ain't no clown, Tony. Listen to this guy, this reporter said. Watch this. I'm going to play it for you.
I'm sure they'll have a meeting with him and hear his side and, explain. You got to take care.
The people in Colorado have been dying for somebody to ask you this. They want to know, Tony, why every time you mention Shedeur Sanders, particularly when it comes to his success, you also mention Dylan Gabriel. Like, Shedeur's success can't live on its own. It's always living in your mind with Dylan Gabriel alongside of him. Can you explain why that seems to be the case?
I just think Gabriel is overlooked because of the massive shadow that Shedeur casts. And I get the feeling that everyone thinks Shedeur is the only player out there working hard. And he's the only one who's the last to leave. But I think people are overlooking. There's another quarterback that the Browns rated higher than him. So be prepared if you see that guy play before Shedeur, because they like him a lot.
Once again, they did not ask him nothing about Dylan Gabriel. All he was talking about, everybody keep overlooking Dylan Gabriel. Ain't nobody overlooking Dylan Gabriel. Zach Jackson done told us when he went out there to OTAs and minicamp, when he saw Dylan Gabriel play, he said it don't belong. He said he looked like a quarterback that don't belong in the NFL. Zach Jackson. He one of your teammates. He one of your teammates. They did not ask you anything about any other than quarterback or how you feel about them quarterback. They want to know what you saw in Shedeur Sanders as quarterback. And the only thing he could say is they overlooking. People just keep overlooking Dylan Gabriel. We ain't overlooking Dylan Gabriel. We know what he can do. We don't seen Dylan Gabriel play. We don't seen him play. We know he ain't that. You the one who don't know. We have seen Shedeur play. We know Shedeur is all about that business. You the one who don't know. He out here worried about how we should do it. People should do it. Because they don't believe. Your own people don't believe in Joe Flacco. Your own people don't believe in Kenny Pickett. Your own people, Tony G, don't believe in Dylan Gabriel. Your own people don't. Your own people don't. They don't believe in it. That's why they're not asking for it. When Shedeur was out there with them kids, they wanted to know, are you going to start game one? They wanted to know Trey Ivan, Miss Harris, Miss Kimberly Wise with. They wanted to know, was Shedeur going to be the starting quarterback game one? They ain't asked about no Dylan Gabriel. They ain't asked about no Kenny Pickett. They wanted to know, was Shedeur going to be the starting quarterback for the Colorado? You or Kenny or Joe Flacco? The kids. Where you think them kids got that from? They got it from their parents. They got it from their teachers. The teachers and their parents. And they repeat what them parents done said. And they going back and repeating what the teachers talking about. That's what they said. Yeah. Oh boy, with Dr. Jack's bald nose, he's a clown, man. Y'all here, man. yeah, he's something else, man. He's something else. I'm just trying to tell y'all. If they give Shedeur Sanders the best opportunity, a real shot, I mean a real shot, he gonna be QB1. You right, Jabbar. Perfect time. He gonna be QB1. And training camp cannot get here soon enough. And check this out, family. You know, they released a video today. Oh, yeah. The Cleveland Brown, I want y'all to hear me on this. The Cleveland Brown ain't crazy. No. Roger Johnson, sis, I love CC Wayne Hood. Cleveland Brown ain't crazy. The owner ain't crazy. And that gentleman try to act like he crazy, but he really ain't. Hey, that dude, he went to Harvard. Oh, yeah, I want to tell him he ain't crazy. He's not crazy. They know what they got in Shedeur. They released a video today of the team. Who you think they got starring their video off? They got Joe Flacco. They got Kenny Pickett. They got Dylan Gabriel. They got Myles Garrett on the team. And they got the wide receiver, Jerry Judah, on the team. Who you think led off their video with? Of the team video. They released the team video today. So they already had the news about Shedeur. But they still said, hey, go ahead and release it. Who you think they led? Who you think led off? Who you think led off this video? I'm finna share it with you. Check out how many times they showed Shedeur in the video and tell me what quarterback y'all don't see in the video. You're going to see Jerry Judy in this video. You're going to see Joe Flacco in the video, you're going to see Myles Garrett and Jerry Jeudy them in this video. The stars. You're going to see the whole stars in this video that Cleveland released today on social media. But it's a certain quarterback, or maybe two quarterbacks, you ain't going to see. You're not going to see. They promote their team. Cleveland Brown is promoting their team in this video. Sit back and watch the video. And when I come back, you let me know who y'all see and who you didn't see. Y'all ready? 40 seconds of it. Here we go.
What's up, man? Go. Oh, what, you good? You gotta tell me when it's showing, bro.
Make sure you get that on camera too, baby. Oh yes.
Once again, family, who the team kept showing in their team video? What player that you did not see in the video? You saw all the stars. You saw number 95, Myles Garrett. You saw number 15, Joe Flacco. You saw Jerry Jeudy. And you saw the tight end sitting on the bench. What other player on the team that you did not see in this video? I got time tonight. If you don't think Shedeur is the star on this team, Tony G and Mary Kay, y'all just a nobody trying to tell somebody about somebody. Yeah, because the Cleveland Brown is showing you who they believe in. Who use I'm just trying to tell you, Miss Debbie Garcia, they know Shedeur Sanders is him. I love CC. They know Shedeur Sanders is a dog and the leader of this team. Danny Little John, DJH, Robert Washington. They know. 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 They know Wayne Hood. What player who everybody from the old head of Cleveland keep trying to push down our neck and our throat, Miss Crystal Wise Williams and Kent Trey Ivan. They keep trying to push Kenny Pickett down our throat, Roger, Sabrina. But guess what? They didn't put him in the team video. I wonder why. Why you didn't have him? Who they say, the face, who they say, the face, who they are saying gonna be QB1 game one, but they ain't put him in the video. One more time just for the haters in case you missed it. Do my favor, hit that like button and subscribe.
What's up, man? Go. Oh, what, you good? You gotta tell me when it's showing, bro.
Make sure you get that on camera too, baby. Oh yes.
They got Shedeur all in the front, in the middle, and at the end. And they gonna tell me they gonna cut Shedeur. And y'all gonna tell me they gonna trade Shedeur to Indianapolis or New Orleans. But they got him in the front of their video. They got him in the middle of the team video. They kept him on the end of the video. But they supposed to trade him or cut him. That owner knows stuff. That owner know what he got in Shedeur Sanders. He's a media driving force and they're gonna add them butts in the seats in that stadium and that dog pound. They ready to hunt. That dog pound ready to hunt, and they want to hunt with who? Shedeur. They want to know is Shedeur gonna be the starter. They want to know is Shedeur gonna be the one who out there. They want to know is Shedeur gonna be out there for him because they ready for him. They ready for him. And when you got former NFL players and quarterback out there telling you and looking at this situation, oh yeah, they let me know what's going on.
There, listen, the future is a whole bunch of right nows, and that's all you can do is right now. For Shedeur, right now in college, he did a great job. So far in camp, I've been very impressed. And I'm not somebody that gets, all worked up over what someone looks like in, helmet and t-shirt. But Shedeur has been very impressive. It's a really complicated and intriguing quarterback room. Obviously, you've got too many guys there right now. Never mind the Deshaun Watson situation, but 4 guys in that room. When you're only going to keep 2, maybe 3, someone's got to go, and all 4 guys could actually, I think you could make the argument that all 4 guys could give them the best chance as a starter. It's a really intriguing thing. I don't think Shedeur necessarily will start early, but I wouldn't count him out to A, make the team, and then B, start at some point during the season.
Yeah. Like I say, you can't count him out. He don't put in the work. Jabbar, appreciate it. He don't put in the work. He have put in that work, and he can't be denied. You got his teammates talking, you got his coaches talking, and you got the former NFL players talking. Once that locker room start talking, you don't never want to turn the locker room against the coaching staff. You don't never want that. You headed for a losing season. Once the leaders make a decision and the players in the locker room disagree with that decision, you don't never going to go in the season with that. Nah, because the players want to win. They want to win, y'all. They just want to win. They just want to win, Miss Porsche. They want to win, Miss Harris. Trey Ives. They want to win. Players want to win, and they know who their quarterback is. And that quarterback going to be Shedeur Sanders, regardless. At some point, they got to make that decision. And if I were them, I'll make that decision going into training camp so Shedeur can get the most reps out of any of them and have him prepared for all 17 games and decide who your backup quarterback going to be. And if it ain't Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, one of them got to go. There ain't no use to keep them both on. There's no use. This going to be Joe Flacco last year anyway. Ain't nobody else going to want that. He's going to be 42 years old. Nobody going to want Joe Flacco. Nobody. And I'm sure ain't too many people going to want Kenny Pickett. He's a bag-up quarterback. And Dylan Gabriel, he's too short. And he too short, y'all. He too short. He just need the reps so he can continue to improve and get out there and show us what he got. That's right. You're right, Greg. You're right. He still be the starter, but yeah. Like I say, yeah, you're right. You're right, Portia. Shedeur has to continue to prove he deserves to be. Do it. He just need the reps to do it. If he get the reps to do it, he's gonna be all right. He just need the reps. He need the reps, y'all. He need the reps. He need more reps than anybody by coming in as a rookie. He need more reps than Joe Flacco. He need more reps than Kenny, and he just need more reps. He need more reps. He just need the 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 reps. If he get the reps, Cleveland Browns going. They should. I wouldn't be surprised they make the playoff if Shedeur start off. If he start off, he in the game. They in the game. They will beat Cincinnati. Now, for us, Baltimore, it just be a good game. We have to see. We have to see. We have to see. But I like him. I like Cleveland chance against that first game with Shedeur Sanders. I just do. I like his chance. Really like his chance. And they was
I
talking
see some
about
balls
it.
coming out of Shedeur Sanders at that game, and I'm like, kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm reading.
He can sling it.
Read the I see him, some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up, see what he's doing in the community.
You talking about Njoku there?
Njoku, Mike Napier. You once you see, different little interactions and things like that, I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building, and I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this like malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word.
That was kind of what was being said. That was kind of what was being said.
No. The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league and say, you could point fingers in a million ways. Not having a pure agent, not having, the workouts that everyone else did, going to these teams, not necessarily being as willing to throw the ball when asked at the All-Star games. Like that kind of stuff I think might have stung him and might have turned teams off. But at no point did anyone say he's a bad kid or that he wasn't going to get along with veterans and come? I mean, this is a guy who has been training to be a professional football player since the day he was born and is ready for this moment.
Once again, they tried to paint him during that pre-draft. During the pre-draft, they tried to paint him in a negative way. But once he got on the field and showed them, because they haven't been paying attention to him at Jackson State nor Colorado, he showed them that he's a franchise quarterback from what they don't see now. From what they don't see now. Only thing they're trying to do, the Cleveland Browns general manager and head coach, they trying to keep the hype down because it's a lot of hype behind Shedeur, which they wasn't not prepared for. They thought it was going to be okay with Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel on that roster. But once they got Shedeur, man, they just trying to save face because they knew, and now they know Dylan Gabriel, that third-round draft pick, don't look like no third-round draft pick. But that fifth-round draft pick look like a first-round draft pick. And now, what's going on in Cleveland? They trying to save face. The GM look bad, and the head coach look bad for drafting Dylan Gabriel when they could have drafted another wide receiver, or they could have drafted a defensive tackle, or they could have drafted an offensive lineman or a cornerback or a linebacker. Because they drafted tight end. They drafted 2 running backs. They could have got another wide receiver instead of getting Dylan Gabriel. They could have drafted Jimmy Horn Jr. They could have drafted LeJontay Webster. They could have drafted Travis Hunter. Will Shepard. They could have drafted them and still had Shedeur and had everything they needed to compete in the AFC. They would have had everything they needed to compete in the AFC against Pittsburgh, against Baltimore, against Cincinnati. They would have had everything they needed if they had ran that draft right. Everything. 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 They would have had everything. They would have had everything. They did not need no Dylan Gabriel. They didn't need that. Didn't nobody else have him on their board. They didn't need that. They could have had Travis Hunter. They could have had Jimmy Horn Jr. They could have had LeJounte or Will Shepherd at that pick when they drafted Dylan Gabriel. Another wide receiver. They could have had a linebacker, BJ Green. They could have had a offensive lineman or defensive lineman. They could have had a safety and Cameron Simeon Craig. But they drafted Dylan Gabriel and Zach Jackson, a beat writer for the Cleveland Browns, went out there and saw the quarterback competition, came back on ESPN Cleveland. They asked him about Dylan Gabriel, and he said he don't look nothing like a NFL quarterback. And the first thing out of his mouth was, wow, I didn't expect you to say that. Yeah, he said, you want me to come back? You want me? We don't supposed to come on here and tell us how I feel. I'm supposed to come back and tell you the truth. Yeah, and that's what he did. That's what he did. Yeah, I agree. I think they reach for Mason Graham. I don't think he all that to me. But we're gonna find out. We finna find out, Zipper. We finna find out. Sabrina Walter, Greg, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Is he gonna add up to everything he is when they drafted him? That Mason Graham, the defensive tiger from Michigan, playing beside Myles Garrett. When Myles Garrett gonna get double team. We're gonna see how that play out, Dave Pascal. Yeah, ways to pick. That lets you know that general manager kind of don't know what he's doing. They did not have their draft together. They didn't have it together. They weren't prepared. But they can go out there and save face. They can go out there and save their job. This year with Shedeur. Shedeur can keep that head coach job around because he the one gonna get the blame. When things go south, when things go bad, he gonna be the one to get blamed for it. He gonna be the one to get on that chopping block. Let him go 0-5 or 1-6. He goes 0-5 and 1-6, or if he go 3-14 this year, he out of there. But Shedeur can save his job. Because he's a pocket present quarterback. He throw on time. And he's accurate with that football. Well, family, I got to get out of here, but I thank y'all for rocking with me. Don't forget to check out my morning's videos if y'all don't mind. Check this morning video out and check out my morning video tomorrow, and I appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow evening with a live show with Greg Cited and JR Box. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Appreciate it, chat. Appreciate it, y'all. Always do.
Visit